Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Glory Hounds. So, I had just spent 20 minutes recording a freaking episode when I finished recording it, went to look at the video, and Windows had reverted my microphone volume back down to 50 where I had it set to 80, and I could barely hear myself in the video, so yeah, I'm not exactly happy right now. I don't like redoing previous work. It feels like I'm wasting my time. But nope, I'm here to entertain you guys, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump right back into it. This video is going to be a little bit shorter because I don't want to spend, I don't know, 20 minutes doing that again. Well, it'll probably be 20 minutes. It'll be like 19 minutes, 30 seconds. Whatever, close enough. Anyway, alright guys, let's jump right back into it. Okay. Just me and Pirate Pete over here now. Why did I do this again? He's rubbed away most of the sauce on his helmet, but the rest of his clothes are a mess of blood-red stains. Blood-red stains that smell like an expired hot dog. I tried kicking the gun away, but he's gotten to it before I can even get my foot up. This is what you get for messing with Ishmael, matey. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do just a regular pirate voice for him. I don't think I can do an Italian pirate voice. I don't know what that would sound like. Crash! I'm so focused on my impending death that I'm completely taken off guard by the sudden sound of glass shattering into a million pieces. A rush of cold air washes over the tiny store, its intensity only matched by the sound of the booming voice that follows. Dawn has come to vanquish the night. Ha, nice. Yep. Dawn Hound. He is awesome looking. When I turn my head, the storefront window is busted beyond recognition. Glass shards litter the old wooden floor. At the center of the destruction stands a large hooded masked canine, most likely a Rottweiler. His large, intimidating frame is cloaked in shadow, cape billowing in the wind, wearing... I don't know what he's supposed to be wearing, actually. It's somewhere between a pro wrestler getup, an elaborate cosplay, and a shameless gimp suit. Is that neoprene? I thought fish who talk like pirates would be the weirdest thing I'd see all day, but the universe just loves proving me wrong. Not that I have any right to complain in my current situation. Drop your weapon, evildoer! Who in blazes are you supposed to be? Pardon, matey, but the convention center's across the street. It's actually 2 blocks down, but you can't always expect accuracy in these kinds of situations. I do like his outfit, though. I said drop your weapon, crook. There's an underlying growl in the canine's voice that just makes me shiver. You fucking mind who you're heed who you be gabbing to, you hound, or it's the plank for ye. I know exactly who I'm talking to. The canine folds his arms, tilting his head. I can read his expressions pretty well even with the mask on. And no good lowlife trying to bully people who can't fight back. I don't think Ahab would be very pleased if news got back you were robbing old ladies for pocket change. He looks at me. Or losing a brawl to Captain Hot Sauce over here. I don't know whether to be grateful or offended. Wasn't much of a brawl, really. What do you know about Captain Ahab? Enough to know he'd be very, very disappointed. The barracuda's frothing at his very dangerous and fanged mouth, his helmet filling with bubbles. He aims his gun at the masked man. The canine doesn't flinch, even when he pulls the trigger. The gun makes a strange noise right before something wet and red seeps out of the barrel, dribbling to the floor below where it lands with a splatter. You gotta be! He smacks the gun against his palm. Shitting me! He tosses it aside, glaring daggers at me. You ruined me pistol! You ruined me pastries! Can we wrap this up, please? I'm a very busy man, you see. Bigger fish to fry if you catch my drift. The fish redirects the glare at the dog in front of us. To Davy Jones' locker with ye! This guy's pirate act is less consistent than my income. Nope. Oh my god! Look at the crazy fight scene! Oh my goodness, I can't keep up with all this action. He charges at the masked man, who gracefully dodges, nearly sending him flying through what's left of the window. The barracuda turns and pulls a knife from inside his jacket, all in the same movement. He swipes it at the dog's throat, but the masked man's already ducked, winding up for an uppercut that sends the robber crashing against the rack of gossip magazines next to the door. While its impact is undeniable, the exertion leaves the canine winded, panting. Had enough! The barracuda twitches for a moment, then charges at him as if to answer his question. The dog narrowly avoids another slash of the would-be robber's knife. But not the fist that connects with his stomach right after. The shelves may shake when he makes impact with the floor. Bags of chips come raining down. Suppose I should be asking you that question. The fish points the knife at the masked man. I want to help him, but my legs have turned to jelly. The crook's eyes narrow as he glares at me. Ye be next! No, you are! The dog rolls onto his back. Villainy 101. Don't gloat until the job is done. I like the sound effects here. He kicks upwards, hitting the fish's hand. The knife goes flying. Spot! My eyes meet the dog's, and I understand without him needing to explain. Putting my shoulder forward, I run as fast as I can towards the robber. Oh! I crash into him hard. Light as he is, he goes flying, falling out the broken window and onto the cold, wet street outside with a pitiful scream. He staggers to his feet, his once pristine jacket now covered in stains and spots, torn in more than a few places. You ain't seen the last of me, Mutz. He gives me one final look before running across the street and jumping into the canal. The dog doesn't give chase. The feeling of relief that washes over me, knowing this experience is behind me, is almost euphoric. I did it! I really did it! I made a difference! That's what I thought. Heh. Hello, handsome. The dog turns his attention to me. I brandish the bottle him out of instinct, it's almost empty at this point. Ooh, excuse me. With a quizzical cant of his head, he laughs. Loudly. Raising a paw, he takes a step closer. He smells of expensive cologne with hints of lime and ginger. I'd like it. I'm not gonna hurt you. What's your name? I'm so wound up I can't even remember my own name. Spot it is. He points to himself with a thumb. I know I'm known as the Dawn Hound. A proud grin stretches across his face, like I'm supposed to have any idea what he's talking about. Known by whom? Oh, well, you see. He clears his throat, looking at his feet. I'm still getting the word out there. He goes quiet. I look past him out the broken window where people have begun to crowd around. You're not going to go after him? Rest assured, he'll get what's coming to him. Ahab's men might be a slippery bunch, but they're not the brightest anglerfish in the ocean. He flashes what looks like a very fancy wristwatch at me. If they were, they might notice the trackers. That is some spy shit. Who's this Ahab person? You've never heard of Captain Ahab, Scourge of the Saltwater? Can't say I have. Count yourself lucky. He runs a little crew in the Saltwater District. He puts air quotes around the word crew. They call themselves the Saltwater Syndicate. A gang of thugs, really, but lately they've been getting bolder. And the police? He shakes his head. Can't do anything, I'm afraid. No one exactly knows where his base of operations might be. Every safe house they've busted has been, well, a bust. But that's where I come in. I'm going to... He catches himself. I can't tell you any more than that. Confidential information. Hero things. He says that, but his tail's wagging like crazy. I must be the first to ask about any of this. Say, couldn't help but notice the logo on your hoodie. You work for Brevard? Regrettably. Don't enjoy your job? Not much of a job, really. I'm just a gopher in repairs, but it pays the bills. Who knows if I'm lucky? Who knows? If I'm lucky, maybe I'll have paid off my student loans in time for the retirement home. I had no idea the situation at that company was that dire. Huh? He looks away, fidgeting. Nothing. I hear a beep. Something lights up under his hood. He touches his ear, and then I hear a voice. Police are closing in on your position. I suggest making escape now, sir. The accent sounds foreign. Russian, most likely. If I wasn't confused as hell about everything, I'd say it was, sexy. Right. Target swam through the net. Over. I will watch him like hawk watches her sleeping young. He will not leave my sight. Wasn't expecting anything less from you. Over and out. Gotta go? Much as I'd love to stay and chat, it was a pleasure meeting you, Spot. You really held your own back there. He extends a paw. I take it and shake it. He's got a really firm grip, but that's to be expected. Alex. My name's Alex. Spot fits you better. You know, because of all the, he gestures to my face. Hey! I swat his hand away, much to his amusement. We lock eyes. There's a goofy grin on his face. He's kind of cute for a guy in a gimp suit. I can hear police sirens in the distance. I guess the voice on the radio was right. Maybe Mrs. De Bruin called them over. I'll see you around then? I should hope so. I could use a sidekick. Sidekick? I'm pretty sure I saved your bacon there, big guy. I poke his belly. He laughs raucously. Ha! Exactly. Can't think of a better person to fill those shoes. You've got the spots. Now we're in the stripes. Ha! I'll have to fetch my resume. I'll keep an eye out for it. He pats my shoulder. His paw's so warm, or maybe I'm just really cold and clammy. Good night, Spot. Night, Dawn Hound. Heh, feels strange to hear other people call me that. It's a hard name to forget. I wink at him, but I can see if his face turns bright red. I'll be off then. Farewell, citizen. You like the older men, huh? And so my savior turns, cloak swishing in the wind as he hops out the window and vanishes into the night. Coffee sometime? Heh. Ah, that's cute. Cute interaction. I like his posters and everything on the wall. What have we got? Ooh, we got some stuff. Is that the Hooked on You place? The Hooked on You beach? Jesus Christ. Turns out that when cops find you alone in a store with busted windows and destroyed shelves, they might have questions for you. I was damn near about to get put in cuffs when Mrs. De Bruin showed up to explain what happened. She looked the most frazzled I've ever seen her. I was hoping to get some time to myself to decompress, but when I get home, it's almost 11. Stepping into the living room feels like walking into an entirely new world after all that happened. A less adventurous one, I can only hope. It seems like Max already went to bed. He left the mail on the kitchen counter, along with some empty nectar bottles. I'll have to check it out later. Once my messenger bags on the table, I put my seriously flattened but still edible pastries in the fridge. Most of it's taken up by what looks to be an enormous, casserole? Lasagna? Abomination. Let's go with that. Huh, there's a sticky note attached. Save some for you, Max. I touch it through the plastic foil and immediately regret what I've done. Hard as a brick and slimy as all hell get out at the same time. How do you even manage that? It's like I'm poking brain matter. It smells even worse. Ha! Gross. It collapses in on itself when I retract my hand. Suddenly, I don't feel like dinner for the next 5 days. I try to ignore the abomination as best I can and just go for a can of soda and a bowl of potato chips. The cornerstone of any nutritious diet. I shouldn't be having caffeine this late, but there's no one stopping me, is there? My usual spot on the couch secured, I stuff a handful of potato chips into my mouth. TV, turn on. The screen flashes to life, lighting up the room and almost incinerating my retinas in the process. Good evening, Alex DeRouge. The date is Friday, April 16th, 2035. The time is 22:56. What would you like to watch this evening? I shrug. Surprise me. Analyzing current emotional state. High stress levels detective. No kidding. Analysis complete. Selected programming will now commence. Enjoy your viewing experience. And remember, when you think of the future, think of Brevard. Yeah. If I got €1 for every time I heard that, I'd be as rich as Brevard himself by now. Cute boy. Ah, here we go. Got some beefy boys. You really think he is the one? He faced an armed enemy alone, without a moment's hesitation. I figured even you would be impressed. He caught common robber unawares and lived to tell tale. He was reckless, careless, lucky. Had it been real battlefield... Lighten up, sunshine. You're taking this even more seriously than I am. And you are not taking things seriously enough. One thing to play vigilante, but to place trust, life in hands of this untrained stranger would not be prudent, sir. You forget, my friend, the greatest men and women on earth were untrained strangers once. As was I, as were you. All it takes to be a hero is the nose for trouble and the balls to go look for it. Wait, that said something. All right, very well. We will see if he has potential. Knew you'd come around. I am not. The threat's detected, okay. I am not around. I'm not even in vicinity. But I am intrigued, I suppose. Yeah.
No nos pueden ver juntos, Leonardo. Sabes que Picasso el menacer.
Mi rosa del desierto. Me niegas de mis deseos hablar. Al menos permitir. Por favor, a mi corazón cantar. Yo, tía! Change channel. From the creators who brought the stars to the stage 3 times before, comes another galaxy-spanning adventure like no other. Ad Astra on Ice. Relive the... Change channel. Has this ever happened to you? I'd love to buy a car, but most models are so small. There's just no room for my neck. When I drive, my trunks get tangled around the steering wheel. I've had 3 accidents and counting. What do I do? Brevard brings a solution to your doorstep with its patented... Change channel, please. And now for the local news. I'm about to change the channel again when Mrs. De Bruin's storefront appears on the screen. A robbery in the Sweetwater district tonight was narrowly thwarted by 2 unlikely heroes. I swallow the potato chip I've been chewing on for a good while, almost fall right off the sofa when I lean forward. The situation seemed dire for 63-year-old store owner Maria De Bruin after a robber claiming to work for the Saltwater Syndicate forced her against the counter, holding her at gunpoint. It's the latest in a string of recent robberies claimed by the Syndicate. Police suspect... As it switches over to security footage, my phone lights up like a beacon. Willem's calling. Yeah? So I'm watching the news. Can you believe they're rebooting Ad Astra again? Don't you go changing the subject on me. That bloke who stopped a robbery at Mrs. De Bruin's place. That wouldn't happen to be you now, would it? I give the screen a glance. Sure enough, there I am, bottle in hand. At least I took the courtesy of blurring out my face. And not that it matters with all my spots. That could be anyone. You leave that lady alone right this instant. Anyone. I thought I told you to give me a ring if anything happened. Shit, right, I was going to text him when I got home. I'm sorry. Are you alright? You're not hurt, are you? Just a few scrapes. I'm glad Mrs. De Bruin's is okay. I can't say the same for her store, though. Who's the big lad? I look at the screen again just as Hound breaks through the window and strikes a pose. Oh, he just showed up, called himself the Hound. Hound. I bite down another potato chip. Yeah, he had a costume on and everything, like the Stinger. Except the Stinger's outfit isn't quite as, whatever that was. And frankly, I'm still processing it. Crazy. I thought he was a stripper or something. I wish. What? Nothing. I hear him grind his beak. Anyway, I would have died if he hadn't been there. I'm glad you're still with us. You still got a bar tab open. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. You know, Lou's gonna want to hear this too. Knowing them, they probably already read it on 10 different news sites. They'll want to hear it from you personally. It's the snide remarks I'm worried about. Well, that's what friends are for, ain't they? Fine, I'll let them know what happened at work tomorrow. Atta boy. Good night, Alex. See you at the Hain. Night, Willie. In other news, a spokesperson for Raoul Brevard, CEO of Brevard Enterprises, has announced plans for the company's expansion beyond Batavian borders. Change channel. Heh. Nope. Ooh, what's going on? I stretch and yawn, shutting my eyes for what feels like a blink. But I can't get my eyelids open again. This is weird. I wasn't sleepy at all 2 seconds ago. And the next thing I know, I'm somewhere else entirely. It's so dark I can't see my hands in front of my face. I can hear the sound of water dripping in the distance. The pattern is very irregular. I prick my ears up and hear another sound, a more rhythmic pounding against the ceiling right above me. It's softer, more distant, and it moves, back and forth, like footsteps. I try walking, reaching out to see if I can maybe find a wall to follow, but all I find is more inky black void. Sniffing the air, I immediately retch. It smells like shit. No, worse, what is this place? Someone's basement? Someone's here, at least, it seems. Who was that? Hard to talk while dry heaving. It's good to see you. I've been waiting for quite some time. The voice is coming from all around me like it's inside my head? What the fuck? I try pinching myself. This is no dream. What do you want? You. Get in line. You misunderstand. It's an understatement. I don't understand anything. What are you, a ghost? Your behavior is becoming of you, Alex de Rouge. You're here because you feel lost, unappreciated, helpless. A ghost with a major in psychology, great. There are many like you. This city has lost hope, but it's not completely without. Ah, stop doing that! Stop talking through me! It needs some time to nurture it, someone to protect it. It needs you. The voice rings in my ear after it finishes talking. You will come here again when the time is right. The irregular dripping grows louder, as do the footsteps, until it's a cacophony of indescribable noise. And something shakes me and I lurch forward out of the darkness, so fast it leaves me reeling and gasping, falling over. Hey, buddy! Hey, buddy! Hey, buddy! Buddy! The ground underneath me is so soft. It takes me a moment to realize it's a carpet. My eyes snap open. I don't even know they were closed. A blurry shape hangs over my head. I recognize those bright colors. Alright guys, I'm gonna pause it right here. We had like 2 seconds left, so we're good. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!